What up, dope people? It's your boy Rod here on the Young Old Head Talk podcast. Got my guy Sherm here. What's going on with you, Sherm?
What up, though? Big bands in the building. What's going on?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much. Just taking it one day at a time. Same old, same old. So with you?
Can't complain, man. Just another day, another dollar.
Yes, sir.
I'm at you the old head saying right there.
The true old head saying.
Yeah. Right.
Yep. All right. So we weren't here last week for you guys, but some kind of big news happened last week. The trade deadline was here for the major leagues, and Tigers did what the Tigers do, and that is make bad trades or do nothing. Somehow they incorporated both into that. That is impossible to do almost, but somehow they did it. So to recap basically everything what happened, Robbie Grossman, and Michael Fulmer are no longer Tigers. Robbie Grossman heads to the Atlanta Braves. Michael Fulmer goes to our division rival, who ironically he was traded to the team that we were at. We were in Minnesota while the trade was happening. All he had to do was walk across the hall, take his jersey off, put a new jersey on. He was traded to the Minnesota Twins for a A-ball pitcher and a double-A pitcher. Sherm, tell me what your reviews of the returns are, because me personally, I'll say this really quickly. We got nothing back in return. Now, granted, they're both going to be free agents going into next year. And when you trade guys, you want to recoup value, but also at the same time, the humility part inside of you, you want them, go chase the ring. Minnesota is the division leader right now in our division. They're probably going to make the playoffs. Atlanta is a really good team in the National League, so they're probably going to make the playoffs. They won a ring last year, so there's always the possibility that they could go back to back. So you're trying to give your guys, a chance to go get a ring, because they're not going to get it here, at least not right now. So, but the big thing I said before that is you need to recoup some value, and the Tigers weren't able to do that, which is very, very frustrating. So tell me what you think about those returns, because me personally, I didn't feel them at all. But
I don't really know what the goal of the trade was. I mean, to offload salary, maybe. The fact when you tell me you getting pitchers for players to be named later, I already know. I grew up watching the bad Tigers team. I know what that means. These guys are going to be trash. You'll never hear from them again. They're going to be like a Jeopardy question. Who did Tigers trade away? Remember when the Tigers traded away John Smoltz? It's still a hot topic in Detroit. Like, you traded him away for some bums. And we all know what happened there. And I'm not saying these guys are John Smoltz in their prime or a young John Smoltz, but this is just one of these pointless Tiger moves that go nowhere and do nothing. So I'm not impressed, and I don't understand it. If you're just looking at salary, then that's more of an insult to the fans who pay money to see this product. If you're telling me that this team's overpaid, I got to get rid of guys who made them slightly more competitive, because at the end of the day, they're a lot less competitive now, losing depth like that. So I don't really know what they were going for, and I don't know, man. Fire Avila. That's all I can tell you on that one.
it isn't even the Grossman trade, because Grossman was pretty solid here last year. He had some great moments, had a couple walk-off hits. He was a good story last year, but this year he just couldn't put the ball in play this year. He was hitting like 210, only had 3-4 dingers this year. He wasn't good this year. But Michael Fulmer was one of the best pitchers in baseball, who had one of the best pitches in baseball in his slider. He's a great weapon to have out of the bullpen, but you need weapons like that, when you're, a successful team. You need that, when you're good. We aren't good. So I understand why you trade him, but at the same time, like you said, you need to get something back for him. Can't just give him away for packing peanuts, and that's what I feel like we did. I'm kind of getting the shades of 2018 when we traded JD Martinez for 3 guys. One guy made the roster, played very, very terribly here, hit like 200. He's now, I think, out of baseball or playing somewhere in one of the South American leagues, something like that. Another guy, I think he plays for the Padres now, named Sergio Alcantara. Not good, didn't get a value from him. And then there's the other guy who we got, who's still in A-ball. We traded for this guy 4 years ago. He's still in A-ball.
Oh my goodness. So I can remember that trade, right? The only thing I'll say to that is, at least you saw the names and were like, oh, these are hot prospects from this organization or whatever. You're like,
they weren't even hot though. It's like, that's the crazy thing about it. The Diamondbacks at that time had a couple of prospects who, now don't get me wrong, JD Martinez was a rental for them, and that was like the last time they made the playoffs. So they were trying to push, and I don't even think they made the playoffs. I think they made the wild card game, lost. But they're saying, okay, we need some big bats to help us push for this wild card spot. They're not finna give up premium prospects who could help them 5-10 years down the line for a guy who can help him this year, who's probably not going to resign.
Well,
so I understand what Arizona was thinking, but the Tigers, they're like, oh, we got some good prospects who turned out to be absolutely nothing.
See, well, right. So even at those times, right, they at least got guys they thought could be something. In this current trade, they don't even know who they've gotten, right? We don't know who's when I saw the announcement, it said player to be named later. Whoever that might be, it hasn't happened. It's literally Joe Blow. It could literally be Joe Blow. So I don't. This is just a horrible trade on every move. It's not like one of those. You know what I mean? At least you get some guys back and you go, these guys might be something. Yeah. Maybe it's always, a crapshoot with that. But this time you're getting literally nothing. Like you said, packing peanuts, a bag of balls. But you know what I mean? Like, things happen, man. You gotta, I don't know, man. This is just like, hey, I made a trade to make a trade. And,
I think I did something. I didn't stand pat at the deadline. I did something.
I'm pretty sure, and I'm calling it now, I'm pretty sure Avila knows his days are like done. So he's just going through the motions, man. He's just going to work every day. Like I said, with an apple and a banana in the briefcase. He's just there until somebody tells him to go back home. Like, I'm going to do it. I don't blame him. So get your money, man.
If you guys don't know how bad it was, a couple of weeks ago, there was a Fire Avila Day at the park. I don't think I've ever seen a team organize an event where they say fire our GM. And the crazy thing was, fans showed up for this. There was like a 40,000 turnout. 40,000 people.
Wait a minute, you said the team did this, or did like some fans do this?
Okay, this really started from like the fans, like some guys from like Woodward Sports or something like that. That's where I first saw it. And then I seen, Tiger's Twitter get on it. And then everybody else started posting it. And they were like, hey, let's have a Fire Avila Day. And what did everybody do? Came in their Fire Avila shirts, Fire Avila signs, all that stuff. And they turned out in droves. And hopefully the message got through to Chris Ilitch. But knowing Chris Ilitch, we don't know.
We don't know. He's probably in Aruba or something. But Al Avila saw that. Now imagine you're Al Avila and you're getting on the elevator, you know what I'm saying, to go to your office for the day. You look outside, 1,000 people wearing Fire Avila shirts. Like, you're going to have a bad day. Like, damn, it might be the end for me. I know what's going to happen. So
it hurts. I hope it hurts. I really hope it hurts him. So he knows how terrible of a job.
Listen, he cashes that check every 2 weeks. It does not, trust me, it probably don't feel bad at all. He's done this for 7 years. He's gotten a lot of good money. He's got some good paychecks. He's probably put kids through college and grandbabies, sent them to France on summer vacations. I'm sure he's not mad about life. But
ironically, the funniest thing about that is maybe the best trade he made was he traded his son away and got 2 decent prospects. That is hilarious to me. He traded his own son away and probably got the best 2 prospects we have.
Ah, my goodness.
Oh, that is utterly disappointing.
This is giving me Matt Millen vibes all over, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. The Tigers are going to mess around and again compete for the worst record in baseball before they get the pitcher. Like, oh, we have to spend money and have a competent person run our baseball operations, and maybe things will happen. I don't know, man.
Disappointment has set into my body, and I'm just a shell of disappointment right now. It's bad. It's really, really bad. And now you're like, well, we need to find somebody. I don't even know if the Tigers are competent enough to find a good, GM.
Yeah, because I really hope they hire.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Chris Ilitch can just go get the guy under Avila and go, all right, guys, your turn. Here we go for another 7 years. I mean, you got to show the fans that you're dedicated to this thing, because this is an amazing baseball town when they're winning. When they're losing, nobody gives a damn, and we're all upset. But when they're winning, they're going to support. They're going to support, and it's an old-time franchise, so they're going to get nationwide support, too. And I promise everybody wants to see the Tigers win once we get on that show.
Every time I watch the video, baseball is always better when the Tigers are better. Baseball is always good, when the Tigers are doing well, I see videos like all the time. And it's like, well, why don't you make us good again? Can't, because we don't have a competent guy running the team. You need to get him out first, get a competent guy in, and then that's when the wheels start turning in positive favor.
So if Chris is willing to do that, positive things will happen. But we'll see, man.
Hey, I'm available. I'm available. I think I'm pretty qualified for the job.
Big Band's the GM coming soon. 2024. It's your time to shine.
2024, man. I'm stripping the whole team down. I'm trading everybody. So, but no, right. I will get the team in shape though. I really will get this team in shape. I play a lot of MLB The Show, so I know how to run a team in baseball now.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna Billy Bean this thing, right?
Oh, I'm gonna Billy Bean the heck out the team. Just gut everything. On some Moneyball junk. Just
right.
Gut everything.
Trading guys for 30-cent packs of bubble gum. Yeah, you gotta go. Analytically, this pack of gum is more efficient than you. Like, whoa.
Yeah.
This guy's a maniac.
Yeah, I've never been one of those analytic guys, but hey, I'll get the team together. Some way, shape, or form. The team is getting together by me.
I'm glad you're not an analytic guy. I really am. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Analytics, they're okay, but I'm not a guy that's like. So you see a prospect, 6'5", 230, outfielder, I'm power hitting machine, and then you see a 5'11", 180 guy. You're saying, oh, he has a little bit more launch angle on the ball, so we're going to take the 5'11" guy. While the 6'5", 235 guy turns out to be a Hall of Famer, can't miss prospect.
Yeah,
I'll never be one of those guys.
Easy peasy. Yeah. Oh, this guy gets base at a tremendous rate. Like, okay. Yeah, it's the eyeball versus analytics test. You know, I think there's a good, healthy combination of both, rather. But don't be the idiot that doesn't draft Deion Sanders or Barry Sanders or, you know, the very obvious guy or Calvin Johnson or somebody like that overthinks it. Like, don't be the Lions and don't draft Aaron Donald. How about that?
What's our guy in Sacramento? The GM over there?
Oh man, I know the owner, like Vlad something or something.
Oh, Vlad. I think is Divock the owner there? Nah.
No, I think they fired him. You know what? I just messed the owner name up and everything. But yeah. Our guys.
No, we're talking about the owner. What's his name? Starts with a V. Oh, is it like Vivek or something?
Vivek. Yeah.
Don't be like my guy. Don't be that guy. Don't be Vivek, please. Vivek, yeah. Don't be the smart. Don't try to be the smartest guy in the room and end up making the worst pick out of the whole draft. You know, don't be that guy.
Yeah, don't Anthony Bennett this thing. Okay, like the Cleveland Cavaliers could have drafted literally anyone. No one likes to talk about how bad Anthony Bennett was a pick, but we might have to dedicate a special segment to that one.
You know what? We might have to just dedicate a whole show to draft bus just to shine the light on how bad some of these picks were. And don't get us wrong, folks. Our teams are on there. Trust me.
Oh, yeah.
At least 2-3 of our teams will be there. But we'll have to get that coming to you guys soon. Yeah.
Because the Pistons had a run, boy. They had a run of who the hell are these guys?
Austin Day, Kyle Singler, Darko Milicic.
Walter White. Yeah, like, what's his name? Walter White. Like, they literally.
Walter White.
I think his name, something, bro, don't give me, like I said, we'll get into it. Because the Pistons made some. They drafted a guy with narcolepsy, man. Come on. The guy could not stay awake. Somehow he made it to the NBA. I don't know.
Who was this guy?
Shit. Come back to me on that one, bro. But the guy had narcolepsy, I promise. They drafted him.
Falling asleep on the court. He takes falling asleep on defense to a whole other level.
Listen, the Pistons had some supreme misses. But keep going, man. I'll have that later in the show.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it on our Tigers riff. You know, basically what we're saying is we'll continue to say this until it happens. Fire Avila.
Yeah.
Start it over.
Definitely.
Strip it down. Fire Avila. And if you need to, sell the team, Illich.
Definitely fire Avila.
Yeah. No. Avila must go. Avila must go. That is the number one thing in Detroit sports right now. He must go. I'm talking about, like, I don't care. I would give you all the money in my bank account. Take Avila off of this team now, please. I beg of you, Chris Illich, please take him off of the team. But yeah,
I don't think you're gonna do it.
But like I say, he has to know his days are numbered, man. Like, he has to know that, like, something's got to give. Either you start bringing some talent here, you start a winning franchise, you gotta go.
Gotta go. Yeah, you don't get 7 years to just play around, man. He's failed to test twice. Twice. So you gotta
Not
go.
only did you say the rebuild was over, it probably looks worse in hindsight because at least last year the team was semi-fun. You know, now it's just paltry, anemic offenses, spotty pitching. Even though the bullpen has been ironically solid, because every time we have a good team, what is the deficiency? It's the bullpen. But it's ironic that the bullpen is good now. But other than that, everything else has just been bad.
And the crazy part is they're gonna have to trot out an old Miggy to play out his last year to get some people in the house. Because next year they're looking at like another pre-COVID year or a COVID year where there's like, we don't know who the hell these guys are, and I'm not coming down there. Good luck. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's gonna have like 100 people in the crowd literally again, and this time it won't be a COVID issue. So I don't like where they're going at all. And the Tigers are one of my favorite professional teams, period. And I'm just disappointed to see how it's playing out.
Yeah, but at least we got the Miggy 2023 retirement tour to look forward to. Retirement tour finna be crazy.
It's gonna be better on the road than at home.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. He's gonna pop up in some place like Seattle. He's gonna get all the love in the world, Arizona, somewhere. We love you, Miggy. This is gonna be great. But back here, it's tears.
Opening day and closing day. The last day of the game, the last day of the season are gonna be lit. That's it.
Yeah, last home game, opening day, last home game, and then last game of the season are gonna be the 3 most attended games by Tigers fans the whole year. Guaranteed.
But the path they're on is gonna be a very long, ugly 2023 as well. So fire Avila, man.
Now there is a way that they can snake out of this somehow. Strip some of this payroll down a little bit. Personally, I would have liked to have seen Miggy retire personally, just so we can get this contract off the books. But because that's like what, 30 mil, something like that.
Yeah. If I'm his agent, I'm gonna tell him the same thing. Shut the hell up and get this check. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You got one more year of 32 million. Be cool. Just drag your leg around. We pull that Bernie thing. We don't need you to actually.
If you need to play 3 games of the season, just stay on the IL the whole year if you need to.
You can say I got a hangnail. Former Tigers have done it. They just sit down the whole season.
And stolen money from the franchise, even though Miggy wouldn't be stealing money from the franchise. Much he's poured into this team. But
he's the greatest Tiger in my lifetime. Yeah.
Mine too.
Followed by JV. But yeah, so I probably got to take that back. It's probably JV because he's homegrown or was homegrown. I don't know, but JV doesn't play here anymore. Yeah, it's Miggy. He's got to be Miggy. He's got to be Miggy. Yeah, but anyway.
Yeah. All right. So that's it in our Tigers tangent before we keep going and sharing these sad memories. Okay, on to a more positive note. Team on the potential upswing. These guys, the Detroit Lions. And guess what, folks? I know you said it before, but we're gonna say it again. Hard Knocks is finally here for the Lions. We were talking about this for years. It's been a possibility for years because there's like a certain criteria you have to meet. I think you can't make the playoffs the year before. You can't have like a new coach. It's some like 2 other things that you have to meet. And only 2 teams I think met it this year. The Lions and the Panthers. Me personally, I would rather see the Lions and the Panthers. That's just me personally. Of course, we would like to see the train wreck that might happen down there with Baker and Sam Darnold. But, our guys are going to be there, so we're going to support them. We're going to be happy to watch them because this may never happen again. Who knows? But
hope not.
Yeah.
This isn't a reward, but hey,
You're absolutely right. But
the NFL is still a product.
Yeah, it is. So my question to you is, I asked you, I believe last week, what did you want to see from this? Now my question this week is, do you think this helps the Lions gain national media attention in a positive way or a negative way?
And to be clear on it, Big Bands, I just looked it up. It says you haven't had to make the playoffs 2 years. You had to not be on Hard Knocks in 10 years, and you couldn't have a first-year coach. So, yeah, the Lions were due. They were definitely due. But, man, what do I expect from it? I think it's going to definitely help in the national media, like you said. But only if they win ball games. If they come out losing, nobody's going to give a damn. It's going to be like, just another Hard Knock season. I think it's more of a big deal here, regionally, than it is nationally. It's only going to be a big deal nationally if you win games because The
True.
NFL, there's always a worst to first scenario. If the Lions are able to seize that, and I'm kind of skeptical now because everybody's saying they're going to be that worst to first team, and I'm like, this is still the Lions.
Kind of like the Tigers this year. Everybody coming to the season. Oh, Tigers. They could really make some noise to potential wild card team. Now look at it.
Done in May.
Finished.
But that's just my PTSD as a Lions fan. So I'm still on the train. I'm still on the wagon, and I think they will surprise some people. And I think Hard Knocks, because honestly, if you follow them on YouTube, they've been kind of prepping themselves for Hard Knocks. All last season they had an in documentary thing going on, and it's actually some really good content. Inside the Den. Yeah, it's some really good content on there. Yeah. So if you keep up with the Lions, I think they're already used to this type of deal. And the one thing I'll say is what we're going to see from Hard Knocks, I don't think it's going to be inauthentic at all. So I am looking forward to that. And if anything, I think you'll get a lot more people outside of the region to go, man, these guys are losers, but they're lovable losers. So can we go from lovable losers to winners? That's the big story. Hard Knocks could help it. I don't think it necessarily matters though. So I don't know. It's good entertainment for me. I've always wanted to peek inside the window of what that clown show had operating. Unfortunately, this isn't the Wayne Fonts era or the Matt Millen era or even the last clown show that just left. So,
okay, so a quick question, a little bit of a sidebar. Which era do you think was worse, the Matt Millen era or the Quinn Trisha era?
Matt Millen by far. Yeah, you can't go on. You can't get the talent so devoid that they go on 16. You just can't. And I think technically I was a Mayhew year. Was that year one? I don't know. I definitely think he was the one because he made two horrible coaches and he got an extension. Like again, like Avila, we were just talking. They knew he was bad in the first 3 years. They gave him, or the first 4 years. They gave him another 4 years or 3 years or whatever. Like, bro, you didn't need to get re-upped. You were trash.
Should have got fired after the first 2 years.
And here's the thing: at the time, the Lions thought they were being revolutionary, but you just hired a guy off TV. Come on. Like that wasn't a thing back then, bro. That wasn't a thing. Nobody's hiring John Madden back then. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's hiring Mel Kiper. Nobody's hiring Mike Tirico. You know what I'm saying? Because he talked that shit in the booth. And it didn't work out for him. So
yeah, the last team to do this, it didn't work out for them either. Mike Mayock, a guy who I kind of enjoyed on the NFL Network. He kind of gave a personality a little bit to it. It's kind of annoying at the same time, but he gave a little bit of personality to the channel.
Yeah,
Raiders hired him and said, "Hey, let's bring John Gruden over here." We see how that worked out.
I mean, the Raiders are going to be a worst to first type candidate, first of all. And Gruden did kind of broom out a lot of guys. Yes, he's a scumbag and a racist. But, at least, I don't know. If they make the playoffs, you kind of got to give him a check plus. You got to put a check in the plus box for him, right? Like, I don't want to, but he kind of still did assemble that team. And even all the BS he brought him, they still assemble and like, all right, screw him. We still gonna make the playoffs, or we still gonna ball out, whatever. And they did. So
yeah, they made the playoffs last year. Did they make the playoffs last year? I think they did.
They made the dang playoffs. I want to say that. I want to go sidebar. I want to go to the stadium, bro. It just looks dope. But
oh yeah, Allegiant looks amazing, and it sucks because the last time we played the Raiders, we played in Oakland, so we won't visit Allegiant till like 2027, 2028, I think. Unless I know that sucks, but unless we, because how the NFL does it's like this little division thing. It says the NFC North best team plays the NFC East best team.
Right,
Only way that'll be able to happen is if a year that we play the AFC team, the extra AFC team on the road, and they say, hey, Lions and Raiders were second in their divisions. They play each other. Unless something crazy like that happens, we won't see Elite until like 2027, 2028.
Well, a guy can dream, but in the meantime, I think this team will just be better suited for that moment when they get there because, and like you said, which era is the worst? Yeah, it's definitely Matt Millen, but I think honestly, this guy, Brad Holmes, is probably the best in my lifetime as a Lions fan. And that's
no
not
question. He's only been here for a year, folks.
that's what and that's the killer part because that's not saying anything. Don't get me wrong, the Lions did have some can't miss guys and a lot of tremendous upside from 89 to 92. But Lions luck literally, I think, became a thing then because only the Lions would have a guy get paralyzed on the field. Shit like that was happening to them. You know, Mike Utley he was a top tier offensive lineman, got his neck broke, career ended right there. You know, we do stupid stuff like trade Pat Swilling and not pick up Hall of Fame OTs. I think it was Orlando Pace, or I want to say, but I forget. Don't kill me on that. But they definitely traded a mid-tier lineup for a Hall of Famer, or they traded for a mid-tier linebacker and missed out on a Hall of Famer that would have been right there for him. These are Lion things that happen. You know what I mean? So
also passing on Randy Moss. I didn't know that till a couple of years ago. But the pick before Randy Moss, guess who that was? Lions.
It was Charles Westbrook.
No, I think that was Terry Fair, I believe.
Terry Fair, I know it was a secondary player, yeah. And yeah, Randy Moss was the very next guy. So, I mean, I've seen that a lot. At least with Millen. Millen's the same guy that went back to back wide receiver for his number one pick. You know,
he didn't pick the right one.
Anytime.
Like you had Andre Johnson in the wings right there, and you picked Mike Williams. Was that Roy Williams?
No, that was your boy. Carl Rogers is who he picked.
Oh,
and in fact, I think Andre went first, so he didn't really have a chance at Andre.
No, but Andre went third.
You went third? Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah. He picked your guy, Charlie Rogers, R.I.P. And you know,
I can't lie. Coming out of college, you really thought Charles Rogers was going to be something. So I can't really front on that pick, thinking prior. But you know, of course, hindsight is 20/20. Hindsight, that's an awful pick. You know.
No, I don't know. See, here's the thing: he played like 2 or 3 games, and he beast moded. First of all, he beast moded.
Yeah, he balled out, but production wise.
But what happened? He got hurt immediately.
Yeah, he did.
He was done.
Yeah,
it's pretty much his career was over pretty much from there. So I always going to give him an asterisk for that, but it is what it is. You picked the wrong guy at the end of the day. Looking back at it, the next 2 guys, who was it? Like you said, Roy Williams and Mike Williams, 2 of the worst picks of all time. Roy Williams was all right, but he wasn't all right at the same time.
Random sidebar. My first football jersey that I remember was a Roy Williams jersey.
He was 11, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
Yeah. No, keep that. Keep that. That's gonna be a trivia question for somebody somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know where that went. It's probably in my basement.
Probably out of there, yeah. To burn that one. The killer part was Roy Williams. In hindsight, again, it was the wrong pick, but at the time, you kind of got it because it was supposed to be Roy Williams and Charles Rogers, and they were supposed to be dynamic duo. Okay, cool. What did not make any sense was Mike Williams, who at the time took a year off from football.
Took a year off
and put on like 40 pounds from eating cake, whole cakes. The man admitted to eating whole cakes. Did not play no football for a year, and you drafted him. And I believe the next guy went to Dallas. He was a stud linebacker, and I believe like a all pro, all this.
I think was it DeMarcus Ware?
Yes, it was. Yes. Yep. So this is the clown show organization I'm used to growing up with. Now Brad missed on a big guy. Let's say he missed on a 5-star guy. You know, at least the guy he picked is at least 3.5 to 4 stars. You know they can actually
serviceable at the least.
They're actual NFL players. You know what I'm saying? They won't be out of football. Keep that in mind. Football. They'll be back at Subway. No, at least
they're not another team. They're not doing anything. They're probably coaching Little League right now.
You know what I'm saying? So it was, and I know Quintricia was terrible. They had whole drafts that are no longer in the league, but you know. Brad Holmes is giving me a lot of play. Like I said, he's the only Lions GM I can recall that had a full draft and everyone in the draft played and got significant time. I'm like, okay.
Minutes. Like they weren't just garbage time minutes. Everyone from Sewell to Jefferson played decent minutes and looked okay at the least.
Like I said, they look like functional football players. Like So you stack that on stack that on stack that, and I think you got something.
Yeah, but we need to keep that going. Not just one or two. We need to keep that going consistently.
Yeah.
You know?
So
I'm throw in the cap space we got too. Things are really looking nice for this team if they can put it all together.
If they can,
not promised.
It's not, because a lot of people are saying Aiden, he's got a bust factor.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that?
Okay, I would say this. Coming into the college season last year, I heard his name, but I wasn't really too well versed into him. I'm sure you were, but I wasn't really too well versed into him. And then I see him start popping on the scene towards the middle of the season. Okay, he's nice. Top 5, top 10 worthy. I don't think so yet, but he's nice. Then I seen he kind of shredded my guys for I think like 2.5 sacks. Like, okay, this guy's pretty good. And I seen what he did to OSU. Like, wow, this kid's like that. And I saw the measurables. I saw the tape again. Saw the combine. Saw the pre-draft workouts. Like, this kid kind of, and I hate to use this. I feel like it's a lazy comp, but kind of reminds me a little bit of TJ Watt, a little bit. Maybe a little bit smaller. Well, not maybe a little bit thinner. Well, no, is he heavier? I can't remember if he was thinner or heavier. Forgive me on that one. But he was a little bit, whatever he was, he kind of reminded me, put you in the mind of a TJ Watt. Be a terror off the edge. And you got to forget, TJ Watt, we got to remember, TJ Watt was pretty decent in college. He wasn't the greatest guy in college. And Hutchinson was pretty decent in college. He wasn't the greatest guy until last year, And the Steelers got him at 29, 30-something, they got Watt. So we're getting him at number 2, which, I'm all for that because TJ Watt just had 23 sacks last year. So we can get that, or we can get, one of the Bosa brothers. He kind of reminds me more of Nick than Joey. Even though I think Joey is the better brother, he kind of reminds me more of Nick. But if we can get Joey Bosa, if we can get Joey Bosa 2.0, I'd be great. But if we can get Nick Bosa again, or if we can get, TJ Watt, I'm all for that. Or even Jared Allen, because that was another comp that I saw during the season or in the offseason. Jared Allen, who's a guy who terrorized us for years on end. We can get that guy on our team this time. You have no complaints from me. Even as a Michigan State guy, I want to see all my teams do well, no matter where they come from, who they get, who they come from. I want to see them do well. So I think, but I don't like the fact that people are talking about Hutch saying he's a bust already, and we haven't seen anything to indicate that he is a bust. Like, what have we seen that indicates he's a bust yet? I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen anything about that.
That's that. When you hear stuff like that, that's when I just say, just don't go on the internet for a week, because that's crazy. Like, you can't even, you can't, you just can't. You can't call anyone anything right now. You know what I'm saying? So
literally,
people
say they look good, but you can't call him a surefire Hall of Famer yet. Or you can't say he's a bust yet. You can say he looks good or his looks doesn't look the best, but you can't give those distinctions right off the bat. It's impossible.
I trust that Aiden Hutchinson is going to be, I don't think it's going to be boom or bust, right? I think, because a lot of people are saying it's either going to be boom or bust with him. No, I think
feel like if kind of high. I mean, not saying there's a floor is kind of high.
Right. At the end of the day, I think he's going to be a high-level functional NFL player. Will he be a Hall of Famer? I don't know. I don't. We'll see. Jared Allen is a Hall of Famer. I hope he is Jared Allen. If he's Jared Allen, I will be ecstatic, but I don't know. At the end of the day, I just trust he's going to be a high-level functioning NFL player that knows what he's doing. And I think he can help us win games. Will he be the Rookie of the Year defensively? I don't think so. I really don't. That Michigan hype machine is a thing. And this ain't Charles Woodson, who was the last rightful number 2 that came from Michigan. You know what I'm saying? Like, you look at Charles Woodson and go, no, this guy is that guy, for real. When he left college. But Michigan hasn't had a guy like Woodson in a while. And is Aiden Hutchinson on Woodson's level? I don't think so. Probably not. Not pound for pound. If you put Woodson and Hutchinson in the same draft, you're probably taking Woodson over him for sure.
No question.
So
I'm taking Woodson.
And I'm just talking just off the college stuff, just off college. So I don't, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to front on Aiden. I think, like I said, I think he's gonna be dope. But I don't know, man. Thibodeau, will he be better than Thibodeau? I think they're both gonna be about the same kind of guy. Like,
And that's the thing that I keep drawing back to, because in the pre-draft process, as you and our tech guy, our friend, as you both know, I was a Thibodeau guy, like the whole way through. If we took Hutch, I wouldn't have been upset, but I was the guy pounding the table for Thibodeau. We didn't take him, so I just hope that doesn't come back to bite us. I didn't want Walker, so that I'm kind of glad the Jaguars eliminated that case for us.
Yeah.
But I feel like Thibodeau, he was there. You gotta grab him, and hopefully he doesn't turn out to be, next, as they say, Lawrence Taylor, as they're throwing out the comps, stuff like that. I really hope that doesn't turn out to be the case.
Is that the comps he's getting in New York camp right now?
That's because he's playing for the Giants, So of course, who do you automatically think of when you think of New York Giants football? Lawrence Taylor or Eli Manning?
Nah, that's insulting. Because I by the time I started watching football, LT wasn't. He was in the back end of his prime to his end of days, but his prime, bro, no, that's an insult. That's like comparing one of these New Jack running backs to Barry Sanders. Like, okay, you're gonna have to show me, bro. If anybody said you were LT, you're gonna have to I'm gonna have to see your highlights in practice of you just doing things, one arm choking your old lineman and just moving him. LT was a different breed. That's a hell of a comp, and I don't know. I wouldn't even want that on me if I was him. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't call me LT. LT was a different guy, man. Different. It was different.
I'll take the playing style, but not the off the field stuff. I'll take the play style, bro.
You gotta accept both. You gotta accept both. You're not getting on the field without off the field, LT. Early days. You're just not. That's why you could never be a Lion. You can never be a Lion. They weren't having that. Like, nah, this guy's nuts. Yeah, but I don't know. I'm looking forward to the battle between Hutchinson and Tibbs. Over time. I think Hard Knocks is going to focus, because Hutchinson is such a big deal, like promotion wise. Like, yeah, he went number 2 overall. We can pitch that to the world. So this guy's supposed to be that guy. So I think Hard Knocks is going to get a lot of heavy Aiden Hutchinson lean, because the rookies don't really, they don't really have a say so in what the hell they're going to show about the rookies.
True. We'll get a flash of the 7th round pick, flash of the 5th round pick, but they're going to show Aiden Hutchinson pretty much throughout the whole series. Not just him, but he's going to be a highlight / main focus. Because like, not only is he a local guy, he was number 2 pick. Supposed to be really, really good for us in the future. So they're going to try to show the most integral pieces potentially to this team. That's what I think they're going to do.
What trips me out about this Hard Knocks is that, like, you walk away always having a newfound respect for the kicker or the punter. Like, oh, these guys are pros. Like, yeah.
The long snapper.
Yeah. Is it still Don Muleback? Is he still a long snapper?
Muleback got released and retired last year.
I see. That's a guy that deserves Hard Knocks. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, that guy.
30 for 30.
Don Muleback. The long snapper. You could just make a book off that, like a series. The long snap. I don't know what he does, but
yeah, some guy named Todd Ferguson. You just be like, man, I like that Todd Ferguson guy.
He gets cut on week 2 though. That's usually how that goes. You're like, oh, this guy. He brought his baby mama up here from Alabama. You know what I'm saying? It's 3 kids.
Eastern Alabama. Granddaddy still living in his shack. One of those guys. Like, you know what? Todd Ferguson's all right with me.
He's good. He's a good guy. Nah, you hear it on your way to work the next day. Yeah, Lions faced cuts today. Todd Ferguson on the top of the list. Like, damn. He won't be on the next episode. Like, that's tragic.
He'd be like, dang, I really like that guy.
Yeah, 7th round pick out of Purdue from way of East Hill, Alabama. Like, what? Who? Yeah, right. Some tragic story. You're gonna get some man tears. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for man tears? Football man tears?
Oh yeah. Like, man, my grandma said I was gonna be the best, man. I'll try to please her, man. Yeah. And then the next episode, Brad Owens be like, all right, sorry to tell you, but you gotta go.
That's another interesting thing about Hard Knocks, how they do cut day, and I always wonder how the Lions do it. Because remember, I think the Jets that were like locking the doors out on people, so you had to get like
it was something like that.
Like, yeah, I wonder how the Lions do it.
Another funny one was the Browns. It was this one guy, because they had this fat coach. He was like the O-line coach, and he was like, I can't say it on the cast, but he was like, you POS. He's like, you ain't do nothing this whole yada yada yada. And then Hugh Jackson was just looking at the coach the whole time and sitting there
like, yeah, well, coach said you trash, gotta go. Yeah.
I was like, wow.
So I'm also curious to see how much Dan Campbell empowers his guys. So that was another. I don't know if you personally watched it in the game.
Yeah, I watched it before. Yeah.
So you saw how he let Deuce Staley run the show down at the Senior Bowl. I thought that was really dope. And Deuce picked up all his positional players and made them like DC and OC and things like that.
Yeah, and then the O-line, not O-line coach, the tight end coach last year is now our OC. I think he was the OC down at the Senior Bowl. So he was basically letting him run plays that he's going to run this year at the Senior Bowl, just tossing out ideas and stuff, which was really cool.
I'm gonna say something wild and controversial. I know it's like week 0, that's why it really doesn't matter. But I wasn't impressed with Ben Johnson. I wasn't impressed with his interpersonal skills. I just wasn't. Like, no. Down at the Senior Bowl, I don't know. He was talking to these young men. It was to me, it was condescending how he sounded. To me, that was just total me opinion. I'm not saying he was. To me, I was just like,
yeah, so you feel, yeah.
His tone of voice got on my nerves. For keep it simple. So I don't know if it got on my nerves. I'm a pretty easy type of guy, you know what I mean? But I just didn't appreciate how he was talking, and he was kind of like kid handling them, like kid gloves, I guess. I'm curious to see what his approach is with actual grown NFL players that probably make more money than him. You know what I'm saying? Like, just tell me what it is, bro. Like, don't tiptoe me into this progress. Just tell me what it is. I don't know. You'd have to watch the Inside the Den to get what I'm laying down here, but it was a minor gripe of mine, and I'm curious to see how it's going to work out on camera.
It could work itself out. It could turn into an internal fire. We'll just have to wait and see.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that, big bands. I'm not. Okay? Don't put that out there. I'm just saying. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll just have to see how it turns out on camera. Now, I do like Aaron Glenn. I think the guys kind of rally around him.
He was awesome. He was awesome.
Yeah, especially the fact that he had such a bad, personnel last year, and he was able to squeeze at least that much out of that team, even though they were still bad on defense. He was able to get more than we ever could have imagined from that defense. So my hat's off to Aaron Glenn for that one.
Here's my thing, right? I thought that Quinn Trisha left that talent cupboard 0-16 bad. I've seen it once. I know what it looks like. So the fact that they did not get whomped in every game, that is a testament to Aaron Glenn, because you're right. That talent was not. It was like 60% NFL players. Like, that's a big amount. 40% guys that probably shouldn't be in the league, but they turned them into functional NFL players and actually were able to win a couple games and hold off some really potent offenses and do some things that they shouldn't have done. So keep stacking talent, and I'm really curious to see what Aaron Glenn can bring to the table. So I'm with you.
I fully agree on that, because he was down there with some good defenses in New Orleans. They had some guys like DeMario Davis, Marshawn Lattimore, who was Von Bill, Marcus Williams, those type of guys. They had some talent down there. So does it give him the same type of pieces up here? I think he can work that into some magic, potentially. Now, he also might leave this year to become a head coach somewhere. So he was getting some interest from some teams this year. So
if that happens, that's a good sign for the line. That means you've had a successful year. Well, defensively successful. That doesn't translate to wins or losses, because it's a total team game. But you've had some defensive successes, some guys buy into your concepts and things you're doing. So I love it, man. Because you always get like a DC lean. You get a heavy lean on their coaches. I'm curious to see what the personalities. There's a bunch of former NFL players as coaches on this team. So I think they're all kind of
former NFL players.
Yeah, and which is very dope. So I also think, you're going to get a lot of boisterous guys,
and majority minorities too.
Yep. That's also, yeah. So there's another testament. I don't know how the Lions leadership structure is if Dan got to pick all his coaches, but I know they were separate hires, so I don't think one interacted with the other. Brad, but yeah, I think Dan brought in a lot of guys that are pros, and I'm curious to see how they're going to translate on camera.
Yeah, me too, because I really just hope that this shines a light on how passionate, because we already know how our fan base gets. We know how when the very few and far between times that this team is winning and they're good, we know how great this city can feel. This fan base can just exude such confidence. This you know how it is. You can't really explain it. There's got to be a Lions fan to understand. Hopefully they can bring us back to that.
Let me ask you this, because it's not a controlled production by the Lions. It's controlled by HBO. How much do you think HBO focuses in on that negative shine that Detroit has? How many abandoned houses do you expect to see on episode 1? Let me ask you that. I'm going to ask you the important thing.
They're going to show like 3 blocks of abandoned houses. In 3 different. No. 3 per segment.
3 per segment? Yes. It's the over under 3.5 of abandoned houses.
And then they're gonna show the guy, you know the infamous guy with the bag over his face that said 0-16. They're gonna show.
Oh him. Yeah, definitely. So 100-1 odds on that one. Like, you're not gonna win no money on that.
They're gonna show the guy with the the turkey hat on Thanksgiving. The guy with his hands on his face. That guy,
Yeah, they're gonna probably show the inside of a Ford plant. Just the very tropish things, man. The Renaissance Center. How many times?
It's gonna be raining and just dreary outside. They're not gonna show beautiful 85-degree weather. There's gonna be 60 and raining.
Yeah, they're gonna put that like dark, dank tint over all of the city of Detroit. Like, even on a sunny day, it's gonna look dark. Like, damn, the sun never.
Look over under on Eminem songs they play. First episode.
What's the number?
2.
Lose Yourself definitely is gonna get played. Maybe not tonight though. I'm gonna go under on that one. I'm gonna go under.
I feel like Lose Yourself. At the last episode, they're gonna end it all, and Lose Yourself is gonna.
It's gonna be the one with the holy choir going on. It's super dramatic. Like,
from that, what commercial was that? Was that for some car company had a commercial? And they played that junk during Christmas for like the last 10 years.
Oh, I think that was Chrysler. Ford's definitely not gonna do that.
Yeah, that was Chrysler, I think.
How many Matt Stafford mentions in episode 1? 10 at least, huh? Yeah, there's definitely gonna be a Matt Stafford lean. Yeah. How many Jared Goff girlfriend appearances? Over under. Yup, I was just gonna say 2 is the number. Yeah, they're definitely gonna show her doing something random, like sitting on the couch and playing with the dog. Like Jared Goff's like talking about football.
Tacos, babe? What's the tacos?
Yeah, some bullshit. Yeah, some bull jive. Let me say some bull jive. Let me see what else. I think Jamal Williams is gonna probably steal the spotlight nationally because he's a rah.
He's already stolen it locally.
Yeah, locally. But I think the rest of the football verse is gonna. NBC. NBC loves a dramatic piece, and I think the Staffords would have got hella shine. But you're gonna get a lot of Dan Campbell. I don't know. You're gonna get James.
You're gonna get some Jared Goff. You definitely gonna get some J-Mo.
Yeah, and with like a walking cane or something is gonna have everybody talking. Like, oh, why does he got a cane? I don't know.
You're gonna get a little bit of Swift too, D Swift. I kind of want to see a little bit more on him too.
Is Barry Sanders gonna be in every episode?
Nah, he's gonna make an appearance 2-3 times. He's just gonna be at camp. Yeah.
Same for Calvin.
We might even see a Calvin appearance.
You're gonna see a Calvin Johnson appearance. What about the over under for Sheila Hamp appearance? You remember she dropped the 4 too. She's just Sheila Hamp now.
Interesting.
I'm gonna say 3.5 throughout the whole series. She's probably gonna be the first.
I'd say over.
Yeah, definitely. She's gonna be the first segment. A legacy of losing. They're gonna be like, here's another one. Last championship, 1957.
Over under, I gotta say at least definitely. 5.
Episode 1. They definitely gonna mention it at least once.
Twice.
The narrator is gonna say it.
Yeah. How many Night Train Lane mentions are we gonna get?
Not since Dick Night Train Lane. definitely at least one.
Talk about 1957. I bet you what they're gonna do is they're gonna talk about I bet you some former Lion is gonna come on this. I've never heard this, but I personally think this. Some former Lion who played on that 91 team that won against the Cowboys in the playoffs and got smacked by the Redskins, excuse me, the Commanders. One of those players is going to say, if we would have beat the Commanders, we definitely beat Buffalo. So I feel like somebody's going to finally say this.
You think so? You think somebody's a former Lion's going to say something controversial? You think so?
I think so.
These guys were soft as baby ass. They weren't talking tough, man. They, they weren't talking tough at all. Like, I couldn't even imagine who that would be. Johnny Morton, I mean, he fought in MMA, but nah. I don't know. Lomas Brown.
We took the words out of my mouth. We know we would have beat Buffalo with the Super Bowl.
Shout out to Lomas, man. Come on, man. Big low. No, but Lomas isn't a big talk tough guy. He's just like a football player. Like, hey, just put me on the field, coach. I'll play. They never had a rah-rah guy, man. Not for real. Louis Delmas might be the last one I can remember. And Glover Quinn.
Yeah, and Glover Quinn. Make some big plays.
He wasn't even rah-rah. He wasn't even rah-rah like that. So,
what's the name made Glover Quinn rah-rah? Matt Patricia.
At the end, he started talking. Yeah. He started ripping hard. Like, you know what? This guy's trash.
Same thing with Slay. Even though Slay was always a big talker, Slay just got pissed off by everything Patricia did. Same thing with Quinn.
And no shouts out to him, but I heard that things aren't, going so hot offensively out in New England for preseason. I mean, training camp. So,
that's great.
I don't know. I've heard that he's the heir apparent to Belichick, and I'm just like, go ahead, go right ahead.
But look, I bet you, he's gonna if he gets 3 years in New England to be the head guy, he's gonna make the playoffs at least once. I bet that.
I don't know.
I bet
because he tries that Belichick thing, and not to get too focused on him, but I think you can't be you can't be Belichick when you're not Belichick. And that's the problem. I don't even think if I'm the owner in New England, I don't even want another next Belichick. Like, nah, the next guy's got to be something totally different. He's got to be like a Pete Carroll type, California West Coast vibes guy. Like
Pete Carroll's kind of a scumbag though. He's kind of a scumbag.
I mean, what can you do? What can you do?
He ran off from USC and just left Reggie Bush with
you got to chase the bag. You do what's best for your family. Reggie Bush knew what he was doing. And here's my thing. Come on, man. Pete Carroll was going into the grimiest hoods in California and getting 5-star guys playing at, Long Beach, Poly U or something.
Poly, yeah.
Yeah, like, come on, man. You ain't doing that without the bag. You're not doing that. So I'm fine. Pete Carroll.
But at the time, it was USC. I mean, who wouldn't want to go to USC at that time?
Exactly.
Especially from Crenshaw and Long Beach Poly. Like, come on, man.
All of Cali was like, oh, yeah, we in this thing. They didn't even have to leave Cali. Once you shut down Cali, it was over. It was over. So, I know he was dirty, but so is the rest. If you're not dirty, you're not winning. That's just how it is. So if Mel Tucker takes off, I know what time it is. Just know that I know. I know. Just know.
We putting together a pretty decent, recruiting class now. Hey, the bag might be getting thrown out. I don't know. This remains to be seen. Who knows?
Yeah, college football is right behind the NFL, so we'll get there.
There. It's almost that time, to hear Dan Miller on the radio. Random sidebar. I like Dan Miller. I enjoy hearing Dan Miller's commentary. But I'm not the biggest fan. Oh, what you finna say?
No, go ahead. You're not the biggest fan of who?
I'm not the biggest fan of Lomas Brown. As much as I hate to say it, I kind of miss Terry Branstetter.
I think, did he retire from like all football?
No, he was calling Michigan games last year because I remember watching like a highlight package of the Michigan game, and I remember his voice being in the background for the Michigan telecast. So I believe he's still going, and if he retired, he had to retire this year.
Yeah, I thought, but I'm not sure. But I was gonna say our color broadcasters for all our majors are top tier, except we lost Mario and Pimba. That was my guy for the Tigers.
Mario and Pimba and Rod Allen were top tier.
Yeah.
And then behind closed doors, they went to stab each other with forks, apparently.
That's how real things were, But shout out to them too. I don't even know who's
Yeah.
doing it now. I know our radio guys for the Tigers are amazing, but
Dan Dickerson is a treasure.
all our guys are like tremendous for our major sports.
Matt Shepard is terrible. Matt Shepard is awful.
You don't like Matt Shepard?
I don't know, man. Because I feel like he's always talking about his 84 Tiger fanboys, the teams he grew up watching, he was just so enamored by them. And it's like, I don't know, man. Shep's just bad to me.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah. And then Kirk Gibson, I forget. I feel like, that's what he does. Kirk Gibson forgets at least two things every telecast. I like Craig Monroe. Craig Monroe is solid. I get kind of like old racist vibes from Jack Morris.
He called a guy a boy or two in his day, for sure. Yeah, he called a teammate boy for sure in his day.
Oh yeah, for sure. I remember one time
Nice.
hit a home run. Yeah, he was like, "Good job, boy." I'm like, I was so taken back. He said something about Shohei Ohtani too, and he got suspended for the rest of the season.
Yeah. Old timey racism, accidental racist. Okay,
sounds like an old timey racist name.
So with that being said, and I don't want to go too far on the subject, but the Fox Sports for the Detroit Tigers, and I don't really care for Johnny Kane either for the Pistons.
Oh, okay.
We got top tier pros in Detroit. Okay, don't give me the Johnny Kane stuff. Keep that in Charlotte. We don't need that.
Okay, that's where we differ. I love me some smooth Johnny Kane. That's good.
But again, that's another subject for another day.
We're gonna go on a tangent. That's another thing, another topic for another episode. We'll get into that too, though.
But no, I think you might just see a little bit of Dan Miller on this Hard Knocks too. So.
Yeah, I think because he's an integral piece for the Lions. Every time I think of the Lions, or at least Lions radio, think of Dan Miller.
Honestly, they don't deserve Dan Miller because I can think of games they're like 1-12. And Dan Miller is acting like they're 12-1 and the line with the Super Bowl on the line. So I do think you're gonna see footage of like game footage of last season going in slow mo while Dan Miller's going crazy in the background. And I think there's gonna be a big boom. I think it's gonna be a big boom for Dan Miller's career. Yeah, because not many people nationally get to hear Dan Miller. And I think
man, he's a treasure. He's a treasure for us.
So I hope they do put Dan on display. We're looking forward to it. I think it comes on 10 p.m. Eastern or something like that.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, well, we'll see how it is. I know I'm gonna check it out.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, as soon as I get to the crib, I'm on that.
Absolutely.
Yep. So with that being said, that looks like that's all we have for you guys today. And I want to appreciate you guys stopping by, whether you're watching Hard Knocks, whether you're watching some old sports highlights, whatever you're doing. Appreciate you guys stopping by. With that being said, we'll catch you guys later. You guys stay straight, stay smooth.
Peace.